Hello there, and welcome back to the Ottomans. I'll be playing on my for this session, and probably most likely the entire game of this. My laptop, so I do apologize. Any sound quality, there are all of those things that could come as a result. I do apologize that in advance because there's not really that much we can do. We did kick France out of the war, or made peace with them last time. This time, I guess we'll be aiming at making peace here with English if we already haven't. We actually have. So we'll release a lot of lands. Take a little bit of a hit here, but we should be fine. France left the coalition, so we can't start messing with them. We have a lot of land here that we will be aiming to get back now, more or less pretty much as soon as possible. And we also have a bunch of troops that need, not replaced, but put into where they're supposed to be. It's been a while since I played Reboot 2, which makes things even worse by my reckoning, but we should be able to pull this off just nicely. It's 58 years left. We take 30 years crushing France, and then the rest of the time take Europe. We should be fine. But even so, it's a very bad way of dealing with things. We seriously need manpower. We need to start getting Denmark and all of these minor nations. Once again, we have a lot of things, or a lot of ways that we can deal with this. This area here will be kind of annoying because I'm pretty sure that, one promise miners will be able to join up and thus start creating issues, but we'll see how it goes. I'd also like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and good holidays. I celebrate at least all we open packages on 24th. Those of you open on 25th, I'm sorry for your wait. I'm a very curious fellow, so I'm really looking forward to opening my presents later today, but this should be interesting. As I said, we'll be trying to make things work out here. I'm a little bit unsure about where we actually are. It's very tempting to go off to Savoy, and also, as you might imagine, we'll most likely release Toulouse and also Gien. I think once we actually get into a position where we can start fighting the French. So we'll probably have 5 peaceful years now before we start causing some serious issues for the Frenchmen. We'll see how that goes. It's also kind of interesting or tempting here to actually go off this one, release Burgundy, and thus get basically claims to this entire area through Burgundy. So we'll have to see. The next war against England will definitely be an interesting one, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage in this case. Let's see here. Still some people in the coalition, as you might imagine, but no one has an aggressive launch anymore, so that's fine. We'll probably, as I said, wait 5 years, take down the miners, then go off to France. We'll see how it goes. Another thing that's really tempting to do here, due to the fact that we have released Northumberland, I didn't actually realize this before now, but Northumberland is actually Protestant, and this gives us advantages because of the simple fact England is Protestant, which means that most of their provinces will still surely turn Protestant. And if I were to say vassalize Northumberland here, basically integrate Scotland, vassalize Northumberland, and use Northumberland, the southern part of England, that could be a potential way of doing things, but they're still kind of risky. Once again, the truce map here, or the amount of countries that I have truces with, is kind of over the top, I dare say. So that's kind of annoying. But for now, I guess we'll actually go ahead and start the annexation of Croatia, because they don't really serve a purpose anymore. Let's just leave it at that. There's no reason for me to actually keep them around, because we won't be using them for much. Also, Wallachia, I think I can actually declare war on these guys. Now I have a truce for some time. I do have with most of these people, which is kind of annoying. I could potentially use Wallachia as a sounding sultanate. I could peacefully vassalize them, but I was thinking of actually using Wallachia to eat Hungary, but that probably won't. Yeah, that won't be the case then. The main problem here, as you already know, is the fact that we are lacking diplomacy points, and also the fact that the Holy Roman Empire is to some extent, it really is slowing down my progress, because I can't actually sell provinces as part of the empire. So I need to get rid of that. In order to get rid of that, I need to get rid of England, France, and Denmark, simply because of the fact that all of these countries are basically a pain to deal with, and as such, I kind of have to allow them to live for now, but I don't want to. We'll probably solve that issue sometime sometime later. And also, of course, the Castilians are definitely something we need to deal with. Potentially, I should actually go for the straight out annexation war right now. I see that I don't actually have a have a truce or anything with them. So we'll probably do just that then. Get Portuguese guy back home. And once we've gotten him home, we'll declare war on Castile and get rid of them once and for all. Holy war has been declared on Castile here, and we'll march straight on them. Unfortunately, I have to, as you can see, the game runs terribly slow on this laptop of mine. It shouldn't, but it does, and also it makes my laptop incredibly hot. So I will go into the options and try and probably get rid of mostly everything, and hopefully that should solve my issues. And if it doesn't, then we might actually have to wait with this until I get back to the city, which will take a while. But at this stage, not really anything else. Not really anything else we can aim at doing here. And also, of course, I guess I should say that I'll be aiming to have my vassals take the islands here, and we'll go full straight out annexation. I think, simply because of the fact that if I go for that straight out annexation, I will be able to well, for these provinces myself shouldn't be a problem. I do have the administrative power, so that shouldn't be a fuss at all, and hopefully that should be enough to make things work to our advantage. Of course, we do have now a peasant revolt, and that is something we have to deal with probably ASAP. So we'll siege and then kick their asses. We'll see how it goes. So apparently, warriors do not read books, and I take stability for that, of course. And also, we'll do a boost then, simply get it back up. As you can see, we're also assaulting the island here. Solom is leading the way. Unfortunately, it seems that he will not die here, which is, of course, a annoying thing, because I would definitely have preferred him dead here. I'll probably just agree to whatever those rebels want, because I can't really fight them. I'll just be aiming to drag this out long enough to actually get myself back at full manpower here, because as you can see, I'm gaining 1,200 men a month, and that is due to the fact that I'm at war with a Christian or a heathen in this case, and that triples my manpower gain. The fact that I'll get triple manpower means that I can fight a lot more wars, a lot more often, so I don't really have to worry about anything once I actually am at war here. Of course, the Granadan guys managed to pull that off, and as I said, we'll just accept demands. I don't care that much for the prestige laws, and of course, as a result of that, we did get Catalan patriots in Ceylon. The current king is kind of Sultan. He's kind of a annoying fellow, because I can't use him to make things work here. The only thing that I haven't turned off also here in option settings is basically the borders, and even so, you can see that this game is running terribly slow. Some more Catalan patriots. So yeah, we're only having a couple of issues here that needs to be resolved. But once again, not really that much I can do to solve these issues. But this is a very welcome thing here. We now have a new Sultan, Suleiman, the second Osmanli, who ruled our glorious nation, 2-for-1. Pretty great fellow, especially since the fact that I do need those diplomatic points. They will be very welcome. Let's just leave it at that. I'm kind of tempted to just allow these Catalan patriots to siege and then we'll agree to their terms. But even so, I'm kind of uncertain. Also, actually go to war with the next war with Aragon. We'll be taking Barcelona and potentially these two. We'll of course call these two islands ourselves. Nothing much we can do to avoid that. Naples have actually taken Achaia, and I kind of hope that they actually end up taking some more along the coast here, because, well, we'll screw them over soon enough, so it shouldn't really be that much of a buzz. The annexation of Croatia is coming along nicely. We'll do the same with Scotland, as I said. Get some more land. as it stands, and this will probably be just the only episode that I actually make during Christmas, simply because of the fact that, as you can see, the game is running terribly slow. I'm not getting uploaded. I can't really focus myself, and if I were to actually record something, it would take me 2 or 3 hours a episode, if unless I actually do this, and thus end up well, not knowing what is going on, and that of course is not ideal either. I need to keep an eye on Europe to know what is actually happening, and if I can't do that, then I'm basically screwed, as you might imagine. So we'll not be doing that. Rather than that, we'll just allow this one to rest until we get back, or I get back to the city, and new patch might be released by then. It might not be, but either or, it doesn't really matter. I'll be able to experiment something then with some new things. We'll still be aiming at taking Europe, and once we actually just dealt with France and England and Denmark, then there are virtually no powers really that can screw us over. As soon as we have dismantled the whole Roman Empire, we can start vassalizing, we can start annexing, we can start basically just raking havoc, and I'll probably just have 4 vassals, then I'll feed everything to. That seems to be a good way of doing it. Also, the fact that I'm actually getting a lot of diplomatic power now is that I could potentially get some of the diplomatic ideas going, and of course that would be very beneficial. But I think I'll just unfortunately go ahead and cut this off right here. It's I know it's terribly bad. I should probably have checked how well the game run. I thought it run fairly okay, but I was clearly mistaken, and this kind of sucks that I have to end it on this note. But hopefully, as I said, you can forgive me, and hopefully you won't string me after this. But we'll have to well, how should I put this? Put this one on hold until January. I'll probably find another game to play. I do have a lot of less taxing games that I can play. Also, on that note, it probably won't be Europa Universalis 3 or something like that. I might actually get Victoria 2 or Heart of Iron 3 or something. Might see how that runs. So there's a lot of options that I could potentially use, but for now, we'll allow this one to rest for a couple of weeks until I get back, and then we'll get back with this one. Of course, this meant that the Aztec game, and also everything with the EU4 will have to wait. I'll be focusing a little bit more on Crusader Kings 2, probably do a couple of potentially a montage or some sort. I have some GTA 5 gameplay. I also have some Ghost gameplay, so there's a lot of things that I could do. But for now, we'll see. As I said, my some minor games like Game Dev, actually do a playthrough of that one. I tried twice, but didn't actually get that far. So there are some potential things we can do, but leave me a note, tell me what you think, and continue this one of the New Year's. Thank you for watching, and I'd also like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll see you next year on this series here. Bye.